It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith, and Shaquille, the Diesel, the champion several times, O'Neal. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. And tonight, it'll be the Houston Rockets going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, for Minnesota, one thing we know, they feel they match up well in this contest. It's obviously an opponent they're confident going up against. We won't have to wait long to see if that confidence is well-founded. And what a shootout we're going to have tonight, a battle of offensive juggernauts. Shaq, what are some things these teams can do to try to gain an advantage?
Well, you got to impose your style of play as early as possible. You got to be versatile in the ways you score. You're just going to go out and do what you do.
Well, that's just saying be aggressive, Ernie. That's it. Aggressive is the most undervalued and then at the same time overused statement. But aggressiveness means getting done what you want to get done. That's what you have to do. That's when you're aggressive.
Shaq, did you understand what he just said?
I sure did not.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
And that shot should leave no doubt as to where we are tonight. It's the Toyota Center here in downtown Houston, Texas. Rockets here at home in this Western Conference matchup live here in Houston. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Chris Webber and Greg Anthony with us. And from the sideline, we'll be hearing from David Aldridge. And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, James Harden is a great offensive player, but there's no mistaking it. He does dominate the ball. Now, that can bother teammates sometimes, but Coach Mike D'Antoni says when they feel that paycheck every 2 weeks, that should make them play hard. You have to be a star in your role. So when James gets the ball to you, shoot it, and then run back and play hard as heck. Kevin?
Thanks. He's a great passer, David. There's no doubt he can set the table. And two very gifted offensive teams, Chris, playing tonight. Fun to watch them go back and forth.
Hey, games like this, though, you got to be careful because you can get lulled into a shootout at any time, and that takes your focus off of doing the little things, paying attention to detail. That's your success. Don't get caught up, or this could be a big run really fast.
All right, ready to go? Ready to go?
Tip-off goes to Minnesota. And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. Wiggins is out there with Teague, and it's Butler in at the 3 spot. And Towns gets it to go.
And I'm just loving how Butler looks for his teammates. If you're open, he'll find you.
Ball against Teague. Here's Tucker. Offensive rebound. Capella. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Taj Gibson picks one up.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
And one reason why the Rockets were okay with letting Dwight Howard leave was because they knew that Clint Capella could fill that role. He quietly gives this team that finisher down on the block, and he has been absolutely, Chris, huge for the Rockets.
Oh, yeah, maybe the best in the league at finishing off lobs last year. Not the most spectacular, but the most consistent last year on that pick and roll because he's so active without the ball. Always moving, giving guards a target. Great hands to catch and finish.
That's good from Capella.
Wow, and the big man Capella has proven to be a reliable role player, a strong physical presence who takes smart shots and contributes well on D.
Good on both.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. That's on Clint Capella. And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, rarely do you get to see two #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
That free throw, no good.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it's half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. And Wiggins, his young career, just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that two-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat-out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. That is his first foul of the game.
And that's a quick foul for him there. It looks like the refs are going to call this one pretty close.
On defense, the Rockets. T kicks to Wiggins. The dish to Butler. Towns, the screen. From 12 feet out. And it's Butler missing.
Defense recognizing the situation and getting right in his face once he got close to the bucket.
Here's Tucker, and Gibson sends it back.
And Gibson just out here to play hard defense, showing great awareness coming up there with that block.
Butler kicks to Towns. And the shot goes in. Towns has got his second bucket of the night.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Now, here's Ariza. From the baseline. And the rejection by Towns.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
And Butler, here we go. That doesn't fall either. He's missed his first 2 shots tonight. And there's the pass to Tucker. Misses from short range.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Now here's Wiggins. Towns, the pass to Wiggins. Gibson the screen. 6 to shoot. Wiggins with it, and it's Harden picking him up, and that one's good. Wiggins.
He has a very well-rounded offensive game. There's just no shortage of ways Wiggins has to punish an opponent, inside, outside, or otherwise.
Now here's Paul. Teague with the ball. Passes to Towns. And Capella sends it back. And he gets it back. And good that time. And it's 6 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Rockets trail by 6. Paul dishes to Capella. Harden right side. Paul outside. Capella sets a screen for Paul. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Kicks it to T. Towns, a screen on Paul. Feeds it to Towns. Shoots over Capella. Towns, no luck.
I like the shot selection on that one, despite the miss.
Paul with the ball. Picked up by Teague. Now here's Paul. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Houston moving it around. From deep, Harden. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 4 rebounds in this game. Wiggins kicks to T. Dishes it to Gibson, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
Here's Paul, following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Over Wiggins, Tucker. It's good from long range.
Well, it had been a little bit of a bumpy ride for Mike D'Antoni before coming to Houston. He had underwhelming results in New York and L.A. before taking time off from coaching, but he's found great success since coming back with the Rockets.
Here's Towns, following the three by Houston. Back to Wiggins. Towns in the corner. Wiggins outside. Pulls up on the wing, and he makes that one. Wiggins has got his second bucket tonight. And when the Rockets hired Mike D'Antoni, there wasn't a lot of fanfare. But this has turned out to be one of the best fits in his coaching career. In fact, he was the NBA Coach of the Year last season.
Yeah, you never know how a coach will mesh with the team, and D'Antoni has fit in perfectly here. He made some changes early on and has the Rockets as a great offensive powerhouse. Even has the team playing some defense. I mean, something his teams have never been known for. I mean, look, he's not an easy man to defend. He'll get his points one way or another.
Towns against Capella. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. That three off the mark. Gets trailed by 5. Ariza kicks it to Tucker. Uses both hands to slam it down.
What about the vision of Ariza just slashing the D apart with his passing?
Outside Teague. Pass to Towns. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. 8 points for Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, he's been the safety valve for them on every possession. So dependable.
Paul with the ball. Now defended by Wiggins. It's tipped. And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Gordon's checked in for Trevor Ariza. Minnesota also making some changes. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Wiggins. And it's Rose in for Teague. And the Timberwolves with possession here. It's a 5-point game. Towns sets the pick for Rose. He kicks it to Towns. Crawford outside. Pass to Gibson. Outside Rose. Hits the three-point bomb. Rose has got his first 3 points of the game.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Harden kicks to Gordon. Now, here's Tucker, defended by Gibson. Crawford against Harden. Back to Tucker. 5 on the clock. Screen by Capella. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
And I love it, Greg. Both sides inflicting damage from the perimeter. We'll see how the defense is adjusting.
Now here's Towns. He's got 8. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
Oh, man, a hot start for him. He's hit 5 of his first 7. And looking at Towns and what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20-10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. Johnson comes in for P.J. Tucker. And it's Green in for James Harden. And when you look at the second year for Towns, it's comparable to other great big men in the history of the NBA. And Greg, I'm talking about players in the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, I mean, just on the sophomore season stats, he looks like he projects to be one of the all-time greats. Comparable numbers to some of the best who have ever played it. Think of these names: Hakeem, Duncan, Ewing, and the Admiral. Maybe we'll be saying Karl Anthony Towns as well.
Here's Towns, following the basket by Chris Paul. Some solid defense there by Nene. Green against Butler. Green kicks to Paul. Johnson with a screen on Rose. Here's Gordon, and he slams it down right on top of Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, what you know about Paul, he sees everything as it develops. That time he hits the wide open man.
That was a terrific replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Crawford outside. He feeds it to Butler. He doesn't hit that one. Great D that time from Green. To the right side. Inside. Johnson kicks to Paul. Nene, the screen. Johnson from outside. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. Minnesota leading by 4. Here's Crawford. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Houston's got just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. And it's Gordon missing. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Crawford kicks to Rose. Crawford outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Towns sets the pick for Crawford. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. Green against Butler. Green, the pass to Johnson. Back to Green. Lets the 3 fly. A rebound by the Timberwolves. 1:41 left in the first quarter. Rose kicks to Butler. Back to Rose. Towns sets the pick for Crawford. Not enough on that one as it misses. Rockets trail by 4. In the corner, it's Gordon. Nene, the screen. Green dishes the ball. Johnson, a wide open look. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 3 assists tonight.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Rose kicks to Towns. Score the basket. It's number 6 for him this game. 6 for 9, 67% shooting.
He's taking over the game. Their lead's going to get even bigger if he keeps this up.
Paul passes to Nene. Eric Gordon on the wing. Over Crawford. And Gordon gets it to go in on the assist by Nene. Gordon's got his second basket.
Gordon is a tough shot maker. He has the ability to drain difficult ones. Only so much you can do defensively against him.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Towns against Nene. And it's blocked, but he stays with it. Here's Butler. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. And the Timberwolves lead by 3. And stolen by Butler. That one misses. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Minnesota on top, leading by 3. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Hey, you talk to Chris Paul, and it's clear he was born to play the point guard position.
Fortunately, I've always been vertically challenged, so I've never had to play power forward or center on anybody's team. I've been passing and getting into the lane, dishing the ball off to a teammate, helping people score my entire career.
Vertically challenged. That's classic coming from Chris Paul. But, you know, seriously, Greg, he's taken that challenge and made the most of what he's got. A terrific play.
Really, and you know what? He's actually turned that challenge on his head when he goes right at much bigger players and uses their size against them.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And let's quickly break down the game we're watching with the Timberwolves, guys.
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Right, and as the defense collapses, that opens up inside-out opportunities. Productive first quarter.
And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Derrick Rose is out there with Crawford. Then it's Gorgie Dang. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Bielitsa in at the power forward. Back to Paul. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. And that's now 6 points for Chris Paul.
Oh, he caught him in stride with the lead pass. Now that was timely.
And last year, one of the bigger surprises in the NBA, the Houston Rockets.
And remember, absent Dwight Howard, a lot of people thought maybe they're going to take a step back. And in the year where several other super teams in the league kind of took a step forward, the Rockets were able to hold their own. The team has a system that works, and they have bought into it. And top to bottom, they've been making smart decisions.
Now here's Gordon after the miss from Crawford. Gordon kicks to Green. And it's all evened up. Green's got himself on the board with 3 there.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Back to Rose. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Chris Paul picks up that one.
And Derrick Rose, the former #1 overall pick in 2008, one of the most athletically gifted point guards the league has ever seen. And it's really all about the evolution of Derrick Rose, finding out how to be more effective at this stage of his career. And, you know, I think he's done a good job of not relying on his outside shot as much. Still can attack and get to the rim, and it's starting to lead to better results.
And the first one drops. For Rose, the outside shot was something that never really recovered after his injuries, Greg, but he is still a dangerous scorer without that tool.
One of the better finishers still at the rim in the league in terms of guards. His decision to go inside more helped bump that field goal percentage up last season. Not everyone can adjust their game, but Rose managed to do it seamlessly.
And part of analyzing a game can be offering forth critique of players or officials or organizations. Chris, how do you find that balance of candor and yet not being too critical, being too harsh?
Great question. The way I try to have an honest balance is to remember how I felt when it happened to me.
Interesting.
When you're a player, if someone comes with hard, credible evidence, I mean, it's true. You can't take anything personal. But when guys are just criticizing the same jump shot that you made last play, I'm not that guy. So, you know, I try to keep a balance by being fair and honest, first of all, to the fans of that city and that state, and letting them know how great their team is, but also that maybe their team is playing lazy. Maybe look at this effort not out there by the floor. But also, in a blowout game, I also give the team that's losing by 30 just as much respect as I do the winning team, because those guys work just as hard. This is just a specific night they didn't play that well. So I just try to make every game as special as it is to me, from being a kid growing up to being able to play in the league, but then also just being fair. You know, benefit of the doubt first, but if you do 2 or 3 stupid things, then you're a stupid player that night. You know, just being honest, having fun. And I've gotten some calls from players, and I don't care. You know, I'm not hard to find. And I just try to have fun, be honest, and no hard feelings, man.
And, Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
The Timberwolves have gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. Screen by Jones. Back to Teague. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And Jeff Teague coming over to the Timberwolves in free agency. Greg, the team felt he was the perfect fit.
You know, and it seemed for a while the Wolves had wanted to kind of mix things up at that point guard position. And you knew they had someone in mind when they dealt both Rubio and Dunn in the offseason. Teague was their man all along.
And that one misses. And last season, the Rockets retired Yao Ming's number for the organization, a career cut short by injuries, but he was such a huge part of the history here, and it was great to see that honor bestowed on him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Yao Ming, one of the largest players I've ever seen in this game. I remember having to go up against him. He was so skilled for a player his size. He had some great battles.
And the second free throw, good.
And really one of the quickest guards in our league. Jeff Teague just puts tremendous pressure on your defense when he's attacking the paint.
Now here's Harden. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Screen by Capella. 4 on the clock. Here's Green. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts. And the book on T, Greg, is to make him an outside shooter. You don't want him getting to the rim.
I mean, he's a good finisher around the rim. His outside shooting, although streaky at times, not bad, but not great either.
Jang and Capella sends it back. Ariza with it. Now defended by Wiggins. A second chance effort. And Capella with the layup.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Jones. They set the pick. And Gibson kicks to Jones. From deep. Teague can't hit. Here's Houston now. They're on an 11-3 run. Ariza goes in. The feed to Harden. Capella gets to Ariza. They get it again. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
Screen by Jones. Now the dish to Gibson. Outside, Jones. And it's denied. But they'll get another chance. Over Ariza. It'll go. The Rocket lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Teague.
And you can tell Teague was looking for a shot on that play. Always had his hands up, ready to catch and fire.
Green kicks to Capella. He dishes it to Harden. There's the pass to Ariza. Capella with a screen on Wiggins. Here's Ariza. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Ariza's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Amazing job by Ariza in the pick and roll there, knowing exactly what to do and taking what the D gives him.
Outside Teague. Jang a screen. Wiggins tries in. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
You're right. They are precise in how they ran that play. Exceptional timing. That's all good stuff.
And it's the Rockets with the ball, following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Outside Teague. Outside Jones. Here's the screen. Here's Jang. And Capella sends it back. And here's Harden. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And the dunk by Capella.
You just love how Harden moves the rock. When a teammate is wide open, he gets it to him so fast.
Timberwolves trail by 6. Outside Teague. Passes it to Wiggins. At the top of the key, Jang. Outside, Jones. Here's Teague on the money from 12 feet away. Teague's got 5 points in the quarter.
And Teague is just so calm and collected when he gets near the rim.
Harden with it. Jones covering. Capella dishes to Ariza. Kicks it to Hart. A 3-ball. And another 3 for Houston.
Oh, simple screen, but there was a defensive mix-up that left the man wide open.
Minnesota's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Jang a screen. They set the pick. Jones the pass to Jang. Feeds to Teague. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Clint Capella.
Well, when Teague has a step or two on the drive, he'll shield the ball and do his best to draw contact.
Free throw, good. Teague. And Chris, we often talk about what makes a good coach or a good player, but to change it up a bit, what do you think is an aspect of being a good general manager in the NBA?
I think being a good manager is about a couple of things. Knowing how to manipulate and deal with the salary cap so that you can bring the best players around each other, but the skill sets have to fit. Best players aren't just what a guy has done in the past or how many points he scored or how many records that he's broken. It's about, does his skill set fit with another player? So you don't want 2 guys that are ball handlers on the same team, or you don't want 2 guys that need a ball handler to facilitate, and therefore you don't have anyone to penetrate. So someone that knows how to weave and interject different skill sets that complement each other, I think is the type of GM that is successful in this league.
Sometimes easier said than done, though, right?
I think most times easier said than done, because a lot of GMs have some great ideas, but they need someone else to help in that trade or a player that's willing. And so, you have a lot of moving factors right there.
Here's Green. Softly drops in the floater. Green's got the lead up to 7 now for the Rockets.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Towns a screen on Green. To the paint. Stolen by Tucker. Harden against Jones. Harden kicks it to Tucker. Fires the 3. Harden's shot is off.
Now, this has just been a bad shooting game, a horrible shooting game for him.
Jones, no one around him. Here's Towns, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the foul against Houston.
And for a player with his size, Towns has always been very comfortable at the free throw line. And that's a good thing, because he finds himself there quite a bit.
And these are his 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight. The free throw drops for Towns. Well, Towns does so many things on the floor, already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line. And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one.
It's effort, it's ability. He also has incredible instincts.
Now here's Rose. He has 5. Dishes it to Gibson. Shot clock at 6. It'll go. The Rocket lead is cut to just 3 points on the basket from Butler.
And the versatility of Butler, just impressive. Solid at finding ways to get inside and finish at the rim.
Rose against Harden. Nene, the screen. Harden kicks to Gordon. Nene setting the pick for Gordon. Again, the miss by Gordon.
He's been off target for the most part, but it hasn't held them back as a unit.
Pass to Rose. Towns against Nene. Now here's Towns. He's tightly guarded, and it's blocked. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. And the layup's good off the glass. Ariza's got 5 points so far.
Oh, just the blazing speed of Ariza coming in handy on break, really using his quickness to beat everyone to the rack.
Towns, the screen. Crawford kicks to Towns. Reverses. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
He's made all 3 of his free throws so far. The Rockets making a switch here. Paul's checked in. The free throw drops for Towns. And Chris, many thought that after the Rockets let Dwight Howard go, they would have a slight rebuilding phase. Turns out they were just reloading. They were a surprise contender last season.
And they did sneak up on some teams with how well they played early on. Front office did a great job retooling the team, great coaching job. And now with Paul in the mix, they're one of the scariest teams, at least on paper, in the league.
Shoots from the baseline. Paul grabs the board.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And it's Gordon missing.
His percentage from the field is not very strong this quarter.
Here's Rose. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Rose has got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves.
And Derrick Rose, so quick out of the gates. When he sees open floor ahead, he's at full sprint in the blink of an eye.
Now here's Gordon. Nene setting the pick for Ariza. Outside Gordon. Nene, the screen. A 3-ball. Rebound, Minnesota. Butler's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Butler with the ball. Defended by Gordon. Butler, no good.
Well executed. Great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Yeah, coming off a good pick, you want to get that when he gets the separation he needs. I know he would love to have that with that.
Ball against Rose. Harden outside. Here's the 3. He can't get that one to fall. So a tie game here as we finish the first half. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, you have come a long way in this league. When you look at your career now versus when you came in, how different is it?
Much different. I think on the floor, I'm supposed to do a lot more on both ends of the floor. And off the floor, I think it's still the same. People recognize my hair.
Well, it is a unique style. Jimmy, thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Houston found themselves in a close game in the first. They never got too far behind as their largest deficit in the period was 8. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets?
Well, no question, Ernie. They need to improve their three-point shooting. When you shoot in the low 30s, you can dig yourself in a deep, abysmal hole. You like that word, Ernie? Abysmal? I can't spell it, but it sounded nice. Anyway, when the open 3 is there, fine, shoot it. But we saw at least a few situations where they should have worked for a better shot.
Kenny, let's get your insight on the Timberwolves.
You have to love a team that pounds the offensive glass. That's going to gain you extra possessions. And check this out. Sometimes just having more offensive chances than your opponent wins the basketball game.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
And as we return to Houston, Texas, a terrific look at the skyline here. The Toyota Center, part of that great landscape. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
Yeah, and the fact he's posted a double-double with about half the game left to play, that's impressive.
Well, it comes down to talent, comes down to hustle. He's shown both in a big way so far.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Paul and Harden, the star-studded backcourt. Clint Capella is out there with P.J. Tucker. And it's Ariza in at the 3 spot. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Back to Harden. Goes up to the stripe. And a big pounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And it's 7 points for Trevor Ariza. Timberwolves trail. Teague dishes to Wiggins. Pass to Butler. Towns, a screen on Ariza. Shot off the screen. No good from Gibson. And for Houston, they're shooting 43% for the game. Here's Paul. Steps back and drains the jump shot. And now a 4-point Rocket lead.
And not much breathing room there. The step back move gave him just enough to get it off.
Wiggins kicks to Butler. Towns, the screen. Butler attacking. He feeds it to Gibson. Towns up top. And the jumper is on the mark. Towns has got 20 points. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operation.
Capella with the bucket.
Yet another easy make. They're really cooking now after making their third straight shot to begin this half.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
T kicks to Towns. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. 22 points for him.
And from day one, Towns has been one of the NBA's top post players. A versatile, well-rounded game on the low block. It doesn't hurt that he can step outside and knock down the jumper either.
Towns with the steal. Wiggins kicks to Towns. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. Houston in the lead. Paul kicks to Harden. Tucker with the ball. Now guarded by Gibson. Paul outside. Beyond the arc. That's tipped.
Wow, that's their first shot of the half that hasn't found a mark. It's been a good start for them.
Paul against Butler for the tie. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Solid start to the half for them. 3 of 4 from the field now.
Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau. Joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And the free throw is good, now leading by 1. And Chris, so many of us involved with the NBA, either as broadcasters or players, had a moment where they just knew that this was the game for us. Did you ever have that moment? And if so, Chris, when did you fall in love with the game of basketball?
Wow, that's a great question, Kev. You know what? I have so many signature moments in my life that continually made me fall in love. I don't know if there's just one. You know, I remember, for instance, Isaiah Thomas, after he won the All-Star game, I believe it was like 86, 87, and after he had his mom come up and his mom did the interview with him, and I was there with my mom, and I remember thinking to myself, man, that would be a cool moment. Or watching Magic Johnson hoist up a championship because he was from Michigan, and I had followed his career the whole time, and so watching him win a championship. Or how about those great Magic Johnson, Larry Bird commercials back when they got out the limo and were looking at each other, you know, that type of stuff. So, man, so many great moments, man. I can't pick one, but there's so many great moments.
Great moments indeed. And here is Teague. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Knocked away. Here's Towns. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Gerald Green, he's checked in for Houston. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Taj Gibson. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Towns, the screen. T kicks to Towns. Shoots over Capella, and Towns the bucket on the assist by T. 24 points for Karl Anthony Towns. The Rockets trail. Paul with the ball. Now defended by Wiggins. From deep, Harden. Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. Butler passes to Teague. He kicks it to Jang. Back to Teague. Shot clock at 6. He gets that one. And now a 4-point Minnesota lead.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Green dishes to Harden. Capella with a screen on Wiggins. Harden kicks to Capella. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Capella's got 12 in the game.
And Capella is very efficient down deep, using his muscle to get off the shots he wants inside.
There's the feed to Jang. Here's the dish to Butler. Green with the block. Paul, no one around him. Drills it from outside. Paul's got 5 points in the quarter.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
Towns a screen on Paul. T kicks to Zhang. Wants to get it to Butler and does. Up and in on the layup. He's got 9.
And just only so much you can do against Butler. Even in the face of intense defense, he stays focused on that basket.
Now here's Paul. He's got 11. It's stolen by T. One-on-one fast break. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
I tell you what, Butler is a physical dunker. I mean, he takes his craft seriously. I just love watching this guy take off.
And the replay presented, of course, by Under Armour. Unleash chaos. Great stuff and some great basketball going on.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Gordon's checked in for James Harden. The Timberwolves also with a sub. Jones is checked in. And so it's Minnesota with it. 3-point lead. He dishes it to Towns. Butler kicks to Towns. Not going to go that time. And it's Houston the other way. Paul outside. The pass to Tucker. Over Wiggins. Tucker can't get it to go.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Well, I'd love to hear his explanation. The coach right there, I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
Now Green, 9 points in the game so far. Over Teague. The Rockets again can't hit.
Wasted opportunity. That's a good chance right there for an easy 2 on the open jump.
Inside, here's Butler. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got his 4th assist in this one.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Screen by Capella. Ball against Jones. Green, the pass to Gordon. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Gordon finishing it off.
I really like how Capella plays within the offense. So great at using his huge body to set screen.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague.
Talk about ugly. No pressure being put on him, and he sails the pass right out of bounds.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Crawford's checked in. Crawford against Gordon. Green left side. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Timberwolves leading by 3. Passes it to Jones. Kicks to Towns. It's hauled in by Gordon. The Rockets have gone 7 of 12 from the floor since coming out of the break. Feeds the ball. There's the screen. Capella with a screen on Butler. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
I think you'll probably see more arguments on those illegal screen calls than just about any other play. Maybe the charge call, but guys never think they were moving.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Gibson comes in for Butler, and it's Rose in for Jones. Now here's Towns. He's got 24. This is to Rose. The bucket is good. He'll have a chance for one more. Capella, and so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. And the Rockets making a change here. Ariza's checked in.
And with D. Rose going through the free agent process this past summer, very different market than when he first signed his big extension back in 2012. But still, there were teams that wanted what he has to offer, and he'll make an impact.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Rose no good on the free throw. And for Rose in his free agency, he isn't, Greg, the same player he once was, but he can still run a team, and he can get you some points.
Yeah, and his leadership is a big part of the package now. He can be a good mentor to upcoming guards in an organization, act as kind of that bridge, if you will, for a team, or that missing piece for a franchise looking to make a run.
Now here's Wiggins. 6 points for him. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Wiggins has got 8 points.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Green kicks to Paul. Houston moving it around. Back to Ariza from downtown. Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. Pass to Rose. He feeds it to Gibson. And he makes good on the layup. 6 points for him.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Now here's Gordon. He's got 6. Crawford with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Crawford's got it. And the lead now. Double digits on that bucket.
Oh, that's great, D there. A little petty larceny as he just picks his pocket and takes it coast to coast for the finish.
Gordon dishes to Paul. Green, the pass to Gordon. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got 3 assists tonight.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, they've been tremendous from beyond the arc. It's a shift from what they did in the first 2 quarters, though.
Here's Towns, and he uses the glass on the layup. Towns has got 8 points in the quarter.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Green against Wiggins. Green kicks to Paul. Ariza outside. And another 3 for Houston.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Towns sets the pick for Rose. Pass to Towns. It's stolen by Green. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Rose against Paul. Fires from the wing. Rebound, Minnesota. Outside Rose. He kicks it to Gibson. Here's the screen. The feed to Towns. Wiggins outside. There's the 3. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
And they get it to double digits just as we get set for the final quarter here. That 3 could be a killer.
And so it's Minnesota with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. And we'll be back with you shortly. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shot. In transition, everyone talk. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanted his team to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yeah, taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy baskets on the fast break. These are key elements in terms of you having success.
3 quarters in the books, folks. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back as we get going. On the court for Minnesota, Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. Rose is out there with Crawford. And it's Towns in at the 5. Roaming the paint. Now here's Harden. Gordon for 3. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got rebound number 19 now. Incredible board work.
Well, the defense had nothing to do with that turnover. They're just fortunate. That's just plain sloppy passing.
Here is Harden. The dish to Gordon. Paul outside. It's Ariza on the wing. Just 5 on the clock. Houston needs to get a shot off. Gordon outside. It's rebounded by Towns.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
Stolen by Harden. Shot by Gordon, wide open. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Gordon's got it back down to single digits for Houston. And for the Timberwolves, they're shooting 52% from the floor. Nice work so far from them. Towns, the screen. Crawford outside. 5 to shoot. Towns kicks to Rose. And there's the foul. Goes on Taj Gibson. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Rockets trail by 9. Paul outside. The 3 from Harden. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Wiggins kicks to Gibson. Count that bucket. And the Timberwolves lead by 11.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
Paul dishes to Harden. Outside Gordon. And the 3 ball is good. Gordon's got 11 points here in just the second half.
Gordon's crafty. He's great at finding room to shoot off the screen. The D cannot afford to lose him.
Rose kicks to Towns. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2. Towns has got 4 points now in the quarter. Now a timeout called by Houston. And Chris, when you see Harden coming down the lane at you, there is a very short list of players who can instill that much fear. Pretty much him, Westbrook, and LeBron. Each have their own style, and Harden's might be the most refined of all of them.
Well, that's why he gets to the line so much. His speed, his handles, his ability to pull back on the 3, his Euro step. When Harden gets going downhill like that, you just don't have an answer.
Yeah, and the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Oh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
Teague is checked in for Rose. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni was talking about with his team. He is not pleased, and he told them they have to make a push right now. He said, look, we got to make a move, or I've got to pull the plug. Pretty blunt stuff, Kevin. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Gordon kicks to Paul. Unloads. And the shot falls short this time.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Here's Towns. Ariza with the rebound. Rockets trail by 10. Harden up top, guarded by Crawford. Harden kicks it to Tucker. Ariza, a screen on Gibson. Here's Tucker. Pops loose off the pick and hammers it home.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Oh, yeah, incredible teamwork there. A play you perfect only by practicing it until you're blue in the face.
Here's Ariza after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Ariza sets a screen for Harden. Trying to break that ice-cold streak, and the layup is up and in.
Oh, man, I really enjoy seeing Harden connect from the interior, showing he's more than just a perimeter scorer.
Crawford with the ball, and it's Harden picking him up. Here's Towns. First 3-pointers off the mark.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Gibson against Paul. He dishes it to Harden. And there's the pass to Gordon. Houston gets it back. Ariza kicks to Paul. Over Gibson. And Gibson sends it back. Crawford passes to Teague. Towns the screen. Outside Teague. And Towns the bucket on the assist by Teague. Teague's got his 6th assist on the night.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Now, here is Harden. Towns with the defensive effort.
That defense is as good as a block. I mean, what looks to be a layup turns into nothing.
Crawford's shot is good.
Nice pass there to set that basket up.
Rockets trail by 12. Paul with the ball. Ariza outside. The 3. Rebound, Minnesota. Gibson's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Now here's Teague. Now here's Towns. A nice shot by Teague. And the Timberwolves lead by 14.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Paul dishes to Harden. Pass to Gordon. Ariza, a screen on Wiggins. Back to Harden. Paul outside. Over Teague. The top of the key jumper is on the mark.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
In the corner, Gibson with it. Kicks to Towns. Banked in off the glass. Towns has got the lead up to 14 now for the Timberwolves.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Harden outside. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Oh, Harden is so good at finishing these and ones. I mean, he is just a thorn in the D side.
And watching James Harden, the amount of shots he is able to create for himself and his teammates, he just does so much from his position that is unrivaled. One of the greatest offensive threats, not only today, but really of the last decade.
Tarek Black, he's checked in for Eric Gordon. Minnesota also with the sub. Butler, he's checked in for Andrew Wiggins. Free throw drops for Harden. And for Harden, he's been in the conversation, Greg, for MVP for several years. The way he's able to just carry an offense with his creativity garners attention.
And Kevin, I think he might have won it last year if it wasn't for the amazing season put in by Russell Westbrook. Don't count Harden out, though. He's such a unique talent on offense. Maybe this will be his year to bring home that MVP award.
Here is Harden after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Ariza kicks to Black. There's the pick from past the arc. Count that one. And the Timberwolves lead has been cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Harden.
Well, he played very poorly in the first half, but during the second half, he's feeling it. He's really flipped the on switch and owned it.
Now here's Teague. Feeds it to Towns. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And Teague knew that he would be open there. Great patience and vision from the point man.
He's checked in for Houston.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Rockets trail by 13. Harden outside. It's Ariza on the wing. Just 4 to shoot. In it goes for the 5th time and 10 shots for him this game.
Oh, I love the way Ariza sticks it to the defense, out-muscling and outworking anyone in front of him.
Outside Teague. Gibson the screen. Off the screen.
Oh, wow.
Look out.
That's a beautiful jam.
Look at the explosiveness from the little man. Teague just rises up and never stops.
They set the screen. And here's Harden for 3. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Well, he has put forth an outstanding effort on offense this quarter. He will need to keep it up if they really want to cut into this lead.
Towns, a screen on Harden. Crawford passes to Butler. Gibson the screen. Outside Butler. Gibson setting a pick for Butler. Shoots over Tucker. It doesn't go for him. And Houston the other way now.
And that's an important rebound, especially on a night where the board work has not been their best.
And the rejection by Towns. Crawford dishes to T. Back to Crawford. Pass to Butler. Towns the screen. Off the pick. Oh!
You gotta like the power of Butler. Just a terrific athlete who throws it down when he can get close to the rim.
Now here's Paul. They set the pick. The three from Harden. It's rebounded by Towns.
And you could tell he thought that triple was gonna fall.
Teague drives in, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And I love that Teague didn't slow up when he got inside and went right in and drew the foul.
2. Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him.
Well, Jeff Teague, one of the more calm players at the line, always looks to be in control.
Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for Chi. Andrew Wiggins checked in for Minnesota. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Rockets trail by 14. Here's Harden.
Boom! That's how you attack.
Attack the rim, baby. Move out.
Stolen by Anderson. Ball against T. There's a good screen. Anderson the screen. It's Harden with the drive and fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Oh, and Harden scores the ball in so many ways with his jumper, off the drive, dunks, floaters. I mean, from way downtown. Pick your poison.
The Rockets making a switch here. Onuaku's checked in.
What makes Harden so special is his explosiveness. This guy can just turn it on whenever he wants to on offense.
Paul against T. Dishes to Butler. Right wing. Towns kicks to Butler. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, poked away.
Just testing out the cannon on that misfire.
Way beyond the arc on that play. It's the kind of shot he can make, but not necessarily the one you want.
Now Harden, after Jimmy Butler missed from long range. Harden draws the double to the inside. A nice shot by Onuaku.
Oh, he took a terrific angle right there off the screen, something they work on every day in practice.
Outside Teague. Towns a screen on Paul. Teague the pass to Towns. Looking for Gibson. He gets it there. Good, and the assist goes to Towns.
Timeout.
That's just too easy. I mean, you can't let him post you like that.
Well, yeah, you want to try to deny and take something away, but you can also see he's smart about his position.
Timeout called the Rockets. They're behind by 9. 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
Coming into this game, he'd been having a tough stretch. We all know that, but not anymore. He's back at his best, and I think it's safe to say that slump is over. Houston with a big group substitution here. Nene, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Johnson comes in for Trevor Ariza. Green, he's checked in for James Harden. And Eric Gordon subbed in for Paul. Nene dishes to Green. Bangs home the trifecta.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really, the entire fourth quarter.
And you have to like this. Why? Because it's helping them space the floor, which can create other opportunities.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So both teams changing it up here. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game. And it would take divine intervention for them now to get back in it.
Yeah, I'd have to say, guys, I don't think the man upstairs is really focused on the comeback.
And here are the Rockets now. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Paul for 3, sinks it. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
And Paul has a beautiful stroke from deep. A gifted shooter who drains perimeter shots with consistency. No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
Shooting 2.
He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Now that's killer instinct at the line, helping them pull away a little.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're down by 7. 16 seconds left in the fourth. The 3 from Johnson. And the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
Yeah, a little too physical on that play. Tries to climb over the top of him and gets whistled for it.
You got to be a little more in control than that. The officials are never going to let you get away with that one.
Shooting 2.
And no good as the first free throw, missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And the second of two is good. That stretches their lead to 8. Gordon kicks to Johnson for 3. Minnesota with the rebound. And so Minnesota takes the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. Andrew, an impressive win for you guys. How will you look back on tonight?
It feels great, I think the whole team played great. We shared the ball, we grabbed rebounds, we made big possessions, so I think it was a great game.
Hey, Andrew, congrats again. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.